5.
Welcome to the 1987 Berwyn Heights Men's League Basketball Championships. Today pitting the dark blue team captained by Kenny Moltz versus the red Wolfpack team captained by Tom Wolfe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another jam-packed Berwyn Heights Athletic and Convocation Center for the 1987 Men's League Basketball Championships. I'm B. Love, and with me today are analysts for the game, Eddie Dillon. Eddie?
Thank you, Bill. Once again, you can see it's a capacity crowd, standing room only, fans lined up along the side to see probably one of the more interesting championship games in the history of the Men's League. This is the 30 and under group, and as you mentioned, the blue team captained by Ken Moltz, for once finally having 6 players out after having played with just 5 the last couple of weeks, and behind us warming up the Wolfpack, unfortunately with just 5 players, so not having full rosters is probably going to be a major factor in this game.
You know, it's funny that I've been reading all the press lately on the NCAA tournament about the Cinderella story. Well, we've got a Cinderella story here today. We've got 2 Cinderella teams, not one. The dark blue team having gone 4-8 in the regular season, making it through the losers bracket to come up to play in this championship game, and of course the Wolfpack tied in a logjam at 6-6 in second place in regular season play, having won the winners bracket, and now we're at the championship game. So it's not, I think it's a question of not will the underdog win, but which underdog
will win. Sure. Some of the preseason favorites, Jay McCall's team that looked so strong throughout the thing, an unfortunate injury to Jay and a close loss, eliminating them. Both of these teams have really overcome adversity. As we mentioned earlier, the injury factor, the factor that both of these teams, unfortunately, are playing with either 5 or 6 players, certainly is a major factor. The blue team with a horrendous start, I believe it was 1-8. It took them a long time to find their spot. A couple of major changes, bringing John Marshall, one of the bigger men in the league, out from underneath, playing him up at a very, very high post, almost a point guard position. Donnie Mitchell maturing and getting more comfortable with the guys. Ed Barrett resurrecting a career that many had thought was buried forever. So these guys are certainly an interesting story. And as you mentioned, the Wolfpack also overcoming a great deal of hardship to get here, Bill.
Well, they've been playing on with a very reduced roster all season, and as you can see, they're only putting 5 on the floor today. So I think it's going to be a tightly controlled game, and I think both teams are going to have to play within themselves and be careful about getting in a lot of foul trouble.
The last time these 2 teams played, it was tied, and they went into overtime, and Kenny's team won by a 12-point margin in overtime, and the deciding factor was the Wolfpack got into foul trouble and had to finish the overtime with only 4 players. So we're sure that's going to be a major factor today, and I think it's going to be an interesting and a game of really 2 very much contrasting styles. So we look forward to a real good one.
Okay, I think we're ready for the starting lineups. We'll be right back. Underway, ladies and gentlemen, but before we do that, we'd like to introduce the officials for today's game. Lead official, and starting in the front court, will be Tom Love, with Don Firestein and Kenny Adrian, all veterans of the league, and we expect to have a tightly called, well-refereed game today. Okay, I believe we're ready for player introductions. All right. Okay, basketball game. For the dark blue team, coached by Kenny Moltz, starting at guard, Donnie Mitchell. For the red team, coached by Tom Wolfe, starting at guard, Jamie Kessler. At the second guard position for the dark blue team, Rick Berry. At guard for the red team, Kenny McTurk. At swing forward for the dark blue team, Kenny Moltz. The first forward position for the red team, Andy Legenzi. At forward for the dark blue team, John Marshall. At forward for the red team, Terry Brennan. At center for the blue team, Big Ed Barrett. And at center for the Wolfpack, Tom Wolfe. And for the blue team, 6-man John Heiser. Well, Eddie, I guess we're ready to go. Introductions have been done. The referees are champing at the bit, and I think this game's about ready to get underway.
I think so, and I think from the very start, how the officials call this one is going to be a major factor. The red team has been in foul trouble all year long simply because they've only got 5 guys. They're an exceptionally quick team. I think one of the things they'd like to do is put some pressure on the blue team's guards. They don't want to let blue pound the ball down low with Ed and John and Kenny underneath. They're really going to be a force. They would like to put some pressure on the guards, but in the last meeting when they did that, they picked up a lot of quick reach fouls and they got themselves in trouble. Donnie Mitchell and Rick Berry, naturally 2 quick guards in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to see whether the Wolfpack comes out and presses or whether they're going to sit back in that zone.
Well, blue controls the ball, and Kenny Moltz quickly takes it to the hole, and we got our first 2 points of the game. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of specialty defenses in this game, especially a lot of box-to-one. Blue is opening up in their standard 2-1-2, but I think as the game progresses and somebody gets hot, you're going to see them break out somebody to try and shut that particular person down.
I think so, and there's 2 ways to attack this. The red team, they have 2 real forces out there, Bill. Tom Wolfe, naturally, their big man inside. Ken McTurk with the jumper there from the free throw line, knocks it at 2. Tom Wolfe, naturally, a big man inside, and Jamie Kessler, their quick guard.
Well, you know something, in the last game that the Wolfpack played, one interesting note was that Kenny McTurk had 12 points or within double figures in the first half, and that was a scoring source that was unpredicted. So I think that one of the secrets to this red team, and the reason that a lot of teams have a little bit of trouble defensing them at times, is the fact that they can score from any position, especially with Andy McGinnis, who's often overlooked as a scoring potential. That kid really hustles and can definitely put some points on the board for him.
And that's just what Red wants to do. You saw Tom Wolfe get the rebound, a quick outlet pass. The break wasn't there, but that's what they will be looking for all day.
Got Rick Berry with a reach, so that'll be the first team foul on blue. You know, very often it seems the teams throughout the season have been very overly concerned with Jamie Kessler as a scoring threat. They feel that if they can shut Kessler down and the movement of the ball up front, they can slow this team down completely. Well, I think that that's only true to a degree. I think you're going to find out that the red team, just like that, is going to try and take it to the front line of the blue team.
Well, the game that you mentioned earlier, Bill, where Kenny McTurk did so well, they had the gray team had gone with a box and 1, and they did effectively cut down Jamie. Also, naturally, looking for Tom Wolfe, they left an awful lot of empty space inside, and Ken McTurk was able to find the holes in there. And the red team, again, very unselfish team. They passed the ball real well. If you leave anybody open, they're going to score, as Andy McGinnis did just last time down. And there you see a lot of tension around Tom Wolfe, 3 men front and back.
And then McGinnis draws the foul. That'll be a 2-shot shooting foul.
Interesting start twice. Andy McGinnis going to the hoop, first scoring on that reverse layup, this time drawing a foul.
No, they're going to give it before the shot.
Well, obviously the continuation, the NBA continuation rule is not going to be called in Berwyn Heights, and boom.
And Jamie Kessler for the corner. 6'2", 5:45 left in the quarter. 6'2", red team.
I don't think blue wants to get too far behind. They don't have the kind of team that's going to go out and aggressively take the ball away from red. Red has good speed, good ball handling.
I'll tell you something, Rick Berry, and I made this comment on an earlier broadcast, simply is playing real well during these playoff games. He gives them that outside firepower that lets their inside operate so effectively.
Ricky, very intense and very intelligent. I think Rick probably more of a quick forward even than a guard, but he's doing the job for this team and doing a remarkable job. Very intense and, again, very competitive and very intelligent. You see him holding the ball out now, setting it up, making sure they get what they want.
Oh, John Marshall with a nice reverse layup. Knocks the score at 6.
And I tell you, Bill, uncharacteristically, I think Tom Wolfe laid off. I mean, he had an opportunity to go for the block. He really let John go by. And I think more than anything, it was the potential of getting in foul trouble early that probably had Tom do that. So I think you're probably going to see a loose defensive game early, and then as the game gets closer to the end and the people are not quite as concerned about getting in foul trouble, you'll see a lot more competitive action out there.
You know, I think the red team is going to have to be very careful to get their forwards to get into the action on the front line. The blue team, obviously a good rebounding team. Both Marshall and Kenny over 10 rebounds a game, and Big Ed at about 8 rebounds a game. They have the potential to dominate the boards, but it's second shots that have been the key to success for this blue team. And if they're going to keep them under control, they're going to have to stop that.
No question about it. Boxing out is going to be very, very important.
Nice move by Kenny McTurk.
Well, there you sort of see Blues' game plan. They had a potential for a big break, but Donnie Mitchell pulling it out, setting it up. And there's an unusual sight. John Marshall way up at the top of the key. High post a la Bill Walton, looking for the pass inside.
Red being pretty deliberate. Gonna play it, make it a half-court game, probably a smart thing.
They're not looking for the break right off, but I have to believe that sooner or later, Red is going to try and put their speed to an advantage. I think their guards are a little bit quicker, and if Tom Wolfe can get that quick outlet pass, in fact, he was looking for Jamie on this side, but John Marshall did a nice job of screening that pass off and making Tom pull the ball back and not look for that break.
2:50 left in the quarter, and the score is 8-6 Blue.
Ed Barrett with the old gorilla pass underneath, unfortunately unsuccessful, but both these teams very unselfish. I don't think you're going to see anybody out there that's going to let their personality get in the way of trying to win this game. These guys they're looking for Terry Brennan underneath, Ricky Berry with the interception.
Last touch by Red, it'll be blue ball. Red team also utilizing a 2-1-2 or a 2-3 type zone defense. No, they're not either. In a boxing one with Terry Brennan on Kenny Moltz. That's a smart move.
Terry's going to shadow Kenny at least for a while. Now, if he gets in foul trouble, they may have to change up. But I think what they're thinking is, just as you mentioned, they're going to try and screen Kenny off those offensive boards.
Sure.
And Kenny is the one guy that when he gets it underneath, he really is relentless. He just keeps going up and up and up. And sooner or later, you're either going to foul him or you're going to give him his shot.
That's kind of a dumb foul by Rick Berry. But they're playing that aggressive defense. That'll bring John Heiser off the bench.
And Johnny, a guy who really contributed last week, the week before, I guess, to their victory. A couple of crucial baskets, a couple of those long rebounds.
Well, they can't buy who?
There you see the power going up there. They just had about 600 pounds of meat off the floor on that one and pulled down the rebound convincingly.
Oh, this is a tough shot. I'm going to give the foul to Terry Brennan on the shot.
Well, that's what they want to do. Now, the one problem with that boxing one is that playing the box, you're going to leave a hole in the center of the paint, and the guards are either going to have to help out or one of the forwards come up, because if you let Kenny get the ball dead center in there, you're just going to come up with the same situation, foul.
Well, you know, they can combat that pretty easily if they realize that once Kenny gets the ball down low, he's not looking to give it up. He's going for the hole. So if the two big guys down on the blocks come over to help out, but they got to get there in time. It's this one step too late business that could get them into foul trouble.
They do, but again, the officiating, not that I think the offensive player gets a certain amount of edge in this league, and Kenny's style is to get the ball up with a power move. You're just not going to really be able to block him. He's not a gentle shooter by any means.
We got a jump ball situation off that last rebound, John Marshall and Tom Wolfe. Scores remains 8-6 in favor of the blue team with just under a minute left in the quarter. Got that one a little quick going up. Going down. Oh, Big Ed with a nice little hook down
There's
low.
the power move with that semi-sky hook. Little baby hook, really, I guess, dropping it in. But from that side, it's going to be real tough. And again, if you notice, the side they picked on with Terry Brennan in the box and one, they went to the side away from Tom Wolfe, forced Andy Leginsey to play Big Ed, and that's really a mismatch. Andy's a good, strong young man, but he's giving away 5 or 6 inches, and he's just not going to be able to stop that move. He'll need help. And they're looking for it again. There it is. There it is. But that time, Kenny McTurk packing it in there takes away the left-handed move from Ed.
John Marshall a little out of position. Good rebound by Terry Brennan. 3 seconds. So at the end of the first quarter, it's blue 10 and red 6. We'll be right back. Gentlemen, while we're waiting for the second quarter to begin, I'd like to just briefly introduce you to the Berwyn Heights Men's League. Those of you who are not familiar with it, the Men's League is a nonprofit organization in the community of Berwyn Heights for recreational activities. And the Berwyn Heights Championship basketball game, Men's League basketball game, is a culmination of the basketball activities which start back in last year and finish up in the spring every year to be followed by softball. We're ready to get underway. John Marshall and Tom Wolfe in the jump circle. Oh, and they're not going to let him get away with it this time.
No, not that time.
Got it going up.
That was a good job by official Ken Adrian on that one spot in the toss. Naturally, the official who tosses it up has a very difficult job seeing whether that ball really goes all the way up. And they came close to actually stealing it last time. This time it was a little more obvious, and Kenny got him for it.
My experience, though, is that the ball rarely gets thrown up high enough, and it's unfortunate.
It is. It's difficult. That's talk about touch. An official needs a certain touch to make that proper toss, and it is difficult.
A couple of quick turnovers.
Well, the pace is obviously a lot quicker here at the beginning of the second quarter.
Oh, blocked by Tom Wolfe. They'll give it back to blue.
Yeah, Donnie Mitchell going into no man's land. I think that was the time to pull it up. He had Tom Wolfe ahead of him. He had pressure behind him. He just wasn't going to get that layup off. That would have been a good time to get down into the corner and set somebody
John
up.
Heiser from 18. It's good.
12-6, Blue out in front. Interesting stat, Bill. Tom Wolfe has not taken a shot as yet. A minute into the second quarter, and probably one of the, if not the main offensive weapon, certainly one of the main offensive. Here it comes. That's the shot Tommy likes.
I'll state it succinctly for you. Tom Wolfe doesn't get the ball, doesn't score, they don't win.
That's, I don't think you have to be, you're going to have any people argue with you on that point. He's too big a factor. They keep looking for Ed coming across the lane from that other side, and I think that's a good play. And I do believe there you see Ed getting position afterwards.
Oh, big
close to a foul by Big Ed. Nice play by Terry Brennan. Level of play is a lot faster and a lot sloppier this.
Going to be a block called on John Heiser as he went to the basket.
This second quarter, I think both teams felt that they were feeling each other out in the first quarter. I wouldn't doubt they went back to the bench and said, let's pick up the tempo a little bit. And both teams going end to end here. But I think this time now we'll probably see a little bit slower pace out here. Ed Barrett now on the bench for Blue. This may alter things a little bit. Let's see what their offensive scheme is and whether Ed decides to change anything.
Might be a little of the frustration showing up. Terry Brennan getting called for the foul after he missed the shot on the rebound. I think Blue is going to pick up the pace a little bit. Without Big Ed in the lineup, they have just a little bit more speed, and they might try and run him out of gas a little bit here. John Marshall down low. Oh, he's going to get the foul on Tom Wolfe over the back.
That may be Tom's second, if I'm not mistaken. I think one of the things is, one reason why I think you're right, Bill, is that the one shot that they were getting consistently was that little left-hand hook, Ed coming across the key, and they will not. They're not going to get that naturally with that out, so probably they will pick up the pace. They'll be shooting a little bit more from the outside.
I'll tell you, the lid's on it for this red team. They canned their first 3 shots of the first quarter and haven't put one in the hole since then. So they're going to have to start getting these second shots that we've talked so much about. One shot at a time isn't going to win it. Jamie Kessler, it's good from 18.
Well, there we see Red picking up the pace, and they did pass 2 Blue players. John Heiser with the knee has been giving him some problems. John's just not going to be that quick up and down. He's naturally making a valiant effort out there.
Good rebound, Kenny McTurk.
I don't know that that's the shot they're really after. John Marshall with the fadeaway from the top of the key, turning around without really getting his eye on the basket. That's a tough shot, and Tom Wolfe was right on him. He really didn't have much room there.
12-8, 5:25 left in the second quarter. They just can't get that ball in the hole, I tell you.
They're not getting bad shots. Are you surprised that Andy's going to the basket the
No,
way he
not
is?
at all. Not at all. He's fearless when it comes to that. In and out. There's that Kenny Moltz we're talking about. Good rebound, Tom Wolfe. So, good board strength on both ends of the floor right now.
Yeah, rebounding is going to be a factor, and interestingly, also, the red team had out-rebounded the blue team in the first quarter. And there's Ricky Berry with a nice job to save it.
I believe that was a timeout called by Kenny Moltz.
A little controversy over that one. I'm not sure whether Kenny really wanted the timeout or he was trying to save possession because Rick Berry did go to the floor and he was afraid he might get trapped, a call for traveling violation. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, interestingly, the rebounding situation now. Rebounding for the blue team spread pretty evenly across the board. Kenny Moltz with 3, and Ed Barrett with 3, Donnie Mitchell with 3, John Marshall with a pair. Whereas on the red side, we've got Tom Wolfe with 4 and Terry Brennan with 4. So the red team is really concentrating their rebounding efforts. They're really concentrating their rebounding efforts with Terry and Tom. Interestingly, Donnie Mitchell coming in there and stealing a couple of rebounds from the big guys, those long ones that are bouncing out, just really going for the ball. He's got a good nose, a good competitor.
You know, interestingly enough, even though it seems as though the red team can't throw it in the ocean, only down by 4, and I think that shows you that the blue team isn't exactly lighting it up either. But one of the interesting things you said, it's going to take Terry Brennan on the boards to keep this team in the game. That's all there is to it. And I think he's resigned himself to that game. He's been playing more outside this year and been enjoying a perimeter game, so to speak. But I think he's dedicated himself to being down low during this championship.
He's out there working hard, and he's got probably the toughest job. It's not a glorious job. He was playing the man on Kenny Moltz. Now they're back into a traditional 2-1-2. They want to naturally keep Terry out of foul trouble. But they have some streak shooters on this team. Tom Wolfe, Jamie Kessler. There's Kenny powering in again.
John Marshall, the safety valve, posting up high.
Red's free throw percentage is 25% right now, and you know these guys, field goal percentage, I'm sorry, Bill, their field goal percentage is 25%, and they're not really taking bad shots. So I think when this thing comes down to where they wind up shooting 40%, we would see a much closer game. Not that 4 points is anything big. There's Ed in there again with that power move. And you're just not going to stop that once he gets in there. You saw Tom Wolfe had perfect position. Ed couldn't make a move off his dribble, but using his body to protect the ball, he threw it up and got it in.
I think Red can learn real quick if they collapse the guard back on him, he'll never get that shot off.
That's what they're going to have to do. There's no question about it.
Jamie Kessler a little uncharacteristic today. I think Jamie's pushing it a little bit too much, but they'll settle down. Eddie Dillon always, Ed Barrett always having his usual good time out there. I think both teams still a little tense. It had been a week layoff since they played, and I think the score reflects that. As the 3 minutes left in the second quarter, score only 14-8. That's rather uncharacteristic. Kenny Moltz from 16 feet in the corner.
Here's a shot we haven't seen often, but Kenny always did have a good outside jump shot. They left him alone. They challenged him to come inside, and Kenny took it and dropped it through.
Pushes the margin to 8.
Red very sloppy. Just, I think pressing just a little bit too much, looking for the quick basket as opposed to being patient. There you saw Terry trying to fire the ball underneath to Tom Wolfe. Not necessarily the pass that they want to make.
Continue to watch Tom Wolfe posting up high, staying out on the outside of the lane. Unless that man gets down low, I just don't think there's much going to happen. Oh my goodness, and Big Ed's going to get the call on that one.
Well, Ed did make sure that they say when you're going to foul a fella that's taking a layup, make sure that he doesn't make the layup. And there was no doubt that Terry wasn't going to put that one in.
Well, that's a style of defense very special to Big Ed Barrett.
Ed got the ball, the arm, the man, the head, and anything else that was moving out there.
That's true. I know it's awful tough to concentrate with this capacity crowd just making the rafters ring, but Terry Brennan, I think he'll be able to settle down and try and get this second one down. He's missed the front end of the 1-1. Well, gets 2-shot. Nope, lane violation. So we get a reprieve here, so maybe see if he can avoid the hat trick.
Looks like the call. I think the call went against Ken Moltz, and Terry has not broken the ice yet. He's 0 for 4 from the floor and missed a couple of free throws. There he goes. Now he's down. And also, maybe a big factor here, 2 minutes to play in the half, and Red is in the bonus. Now we'll see if they can take advantage of that fact. Down by 7.
16-9. 2:03 left in the quarter.
There's what Red wants to do. Watch Kessler.
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness gracious.
Jamie Kessler, he's just got to take about a half a step off of it, and he'll be all right.
That's just what they wanted to do. Tom Wolfe with the rebound, the outlet pass to Kessler going down the sideline, and that's the play that has worked so effectively for them. It really forces the other team to take 1 or 2 men out of their offense just to play back and play safe.
Well, we got a change of offensive ploys by the blue team. We now have John Marshall down low and Ed Baird up high. Oh, injury timeout called by official Ken Adrian.
Kenny might have jammed the finger on that one. It's on his left hand, but still, those are the kind of injuries that really force you to lose a little touch.
Especially when we both know that Kenny Moltz has that Bob Cousy-style jump shot that requires 2 hands to shoot it.
John Marshall coming out to block a jump shot attempt by Jamie. Ricky Berry in no hurry at all now. They've got the lead by 7. They're going to take their time. They might even think about going in, taking the last shot, and knowing that they're at least up by 7. Yeah, Ed's not in a hurry. He's got to watch out for that trap.
This is going to be an interesting call. Oh my goodness, boy, tough call. Man had his position.
Now, Ken had his
behind. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kenny did have his arm intertwined between John's arms, and I think that was the call, is that he did have an arm on him. Probably was not a bad foul though, because it was just Kenny and John underneath there. If John wasn't fouled, he was going to get it back up, I think, in good shape.
John Marshall converts both ends. Score 18-9, 1:02 left. One thing I think that favors, well, it's kind of hard to say really, but one thing that may favor the red team slightly is that the blue team is not the best free throw shooting team in the league. They're both all the way up and down the line. They average about 50%, whereas the red team has a couple of sharpshooters.
Andy McGinnis with a tremendous effort in there, and it looked like somebody got a hand on it. Red making a real effort to get the last one of the half. That was a big one.
Tom Wolfe right down in the lane from about 3 feet. That's the shot they got to have.
This is an awfully low-scoring game. I thought Andy McGinnis was probably fouled on his first attempt. He made a great effort to get the offensive rebound and take it back up. The Blues going to look for one here, I think. It's interesting to see who's going to take it. I think they'd look for Kenny or Red. It might be Rick Berry. We'll find out.
There it is. Donnie Mitchell from 15.
Couldn't be sweeter.
So, at the end of the first half, we've got dark blue 20 and the Wolfpack 11. We'll be right back. I'd like to take a minute to give credit to our production staff today. On camera, doing his usual fine job, Ron Buchanan, our clock timekeeper for the day, Chris Colson. On the official scorebook, Mike Dunn. Our statisticians, John Novak, and League Basketball Commissioner Jim McGinnis. I'm going to have a word with Mac here real quick. What does it look like as far as statistics, Mac? I think both teams can't even throw it in the ocean. What's going on here?
Both teams are shooting very poorly. Red team's only shooting 22% from the field. I think they're only 1 for 3 from the line.
What is that, 5 for 22?
Yeah, 5 for 22 from the field. And then Kenny Moltz's blue team, they're not doing much better. They're 9 for 27. They're 30% from the field, 33% from the field. So no one's burning up the nets. And what's happening here, I mean, Tom Wolfe, big man of the red team, only taking 2 shots. He's got a handful of rebounds, he's got 5 rebounds, but you can see by here, we're looking down here, that Blues pretty well spread out scoring. No player in the game has more than 4 points. at this point.
I was commenting to Eddie earlier that if they don't get the ball to Tom Wolfe and he doesn't put some points on the board, Red does not win the game.
Well,
that's,
Tom
that's
Wolfe's
my bottom line.
been non-existent this game.
I
I mean, he's got 5 rebounds, but they haven't been anything spectacular. They've been taking it inside on him. Big Ed's been scoring against Tom Wolfe. And Tommy's only taken 2 shots, which I think he's got to get, 10, 11 shots a half.
Who would you
he's
say?
not doing.
Would you give the rebounding edge to the blue team in the first half?
Barely. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty even with the rebounding. What you got to find here, John's keeping assists and turnovers. Jamie Kessler is like 2 for 7 from the field. He's got 3 turnovers. So, I mean, Jamie's got to have a great second half here for it to turn around. But assists, there's not many to be given, and turnovers are pretty minimal. It's about even. But the thing is, who's got to shoot the ball? Tom Wolfe obviously has to, and Kenny Moltz is only 2 for 4 from the field. So, I mean,
And of course, Terry Brennan, one of our field goal percentage leaders for the regular season, 0 for 4.
So 1 for 3 from line.
Yeah.
Just real quick, the other thing is, the person that's taken the most shots in this game is Big Ed Barrett. Nobody would suspect that. He's like 2 for 8 from the field, so I'll turn it back over to Eddie.
Okay. Well, we're ready to get underway with the second half, and score is 22-11 in favor of the blue team.
Well, I'm sure
we're gonna toss it up again. They didn't like the way that one went up.
That's a good one.
John Marshall controls the tap. Quickly down inside. Oh, nice layup by Rick Barron. He's going to be fouled.
Boy, a basket to start, a foul on Tom Wolfe, which was his second, and that's a great start for the blue team. Red has a long way to come back, but I'll tell you, Bill, I know we're going to see a much better second half from both clubs. Both clubs a little tentative. I'm sure both clubs concerned about getting in any kind of early foul trouble. Both clubs obviously having a week off, preparing very much for this game. And let's see. Jamie coming down smoothly.
And
now
there it is.
That's going to be a difference. Let me say one of the things that we mentioned. Tom Wolfe only having 2 shots. Well, that's exactly what Blue wants. I think Blue's decided that they're going to stop Tom Wolfe and they're going to let Jamie do whatever he wants. Now, Jamie being unable to hit the shots early in the first half allowed Blue to really pack it down and deny Tom the ball. Now, if Jamie comes out and hits even 1 or 2, and obviously he's a tremendous shooter and a great streak shooter, then they're going to have to come out and do something to him, and that's going to open it up for Tom Wolfe. So that's the key for the red team, getting Jamie to hit a couple of those jumpers.
I think the same thing holds true as far as Red's D on the blue team, and that is Kenny Moltz has really been relatively inactive in the first half. So both of them applying their special defense to the people they wanted to, and I think it's being effective. Now we're going to see who rises out of the supporting cast and takes charge of this game. Nobody in serious foul trouble, so we should see him continue on. Oh, they're going to give that foul to Big Ed Barrett.
And that's 3 for Ed. That is 3. He didn't do much but get his hands up, but he did get his hands. He got Kenny across the forearms,
and
that's going to be a problem.
He'll be replaced by John Heiser.
Now, as Jimmy McGinnis mentioned when he was going down the stats, Ed Barrett taking the most shots, an unusual occurrence, but not really when you figure what Red is doing on defense, playing that box and one, taking Terry Brennan from the baseline and putting him on Ed, putting him on Kenny, allowed Ed, the power man, to get inside, and Blue very, very intelligently went to Ed consistently, and Ed had a very good first half. Now, being in foul trouble is really going to change things.
Well, Kenny McTurk can only convert 1 of the 2 free throws, but it cuts the margin down to 8 points, scored 22-14 in favor of Blue. 6:45 left in the third quarter.
Red maybe looking a little more aggressive. Jamie really moving out there, but shots long. Rebound control by John Heiser. Now you are seeing the Red guards come out a little bit further, trying to put a little bit of pressure out there. Red guards very quick, very active. John Heiser almost getting himself in trouble. Donnie Mitchell.
John Marshall. Oh, and it goes. Nice shot, John Marshall. 8 feet from the left side.
That's an excellent shot. He also took Tom Wolfe away from the basket. If there was a rebound, they were going to be in good shape for it.
Rebound Terry Brennan and scores.
Powerful move, and Blue maybe a little hesitant. You didn't see either John or Kenny get off their feet on that one. I'm not sure whether they were a little... Jimmy Kessler with the quick hands. This is what Red wants to do.
Oh, my goodness. they're going to give the foul to Donnie Mitchell underneath.
Well, I think Blue still got away lucky. They had the dead-on 2-on-1 fast break. They had the guys on the right line, the right side. Probably a very smart foul.
Definitely think the tempo has changed slightly in this game. This red team has come out much more aggressively and a little bit more effective on the second shots. And Jamie Kessler, here we go. So now this is what they've been waiting for, to get Kessler on track from the outside. Is going to loosen that inside up a little bit.
Absolutely. Now the guard on Jamie's side is going to have to come out and respect him a whole lot more, which means that Tom Wolfe is not going to be fronted. Rick Berry and Heiser were both dropping back and keeping a hand in Tom's face, denying him the ball, and then taking away that dribble from him.
24-18, it cut the lead to 6. And they continue to work the ball around the perimeter. They just keep John Marshall slicing through underneath. Looking down low.
What I don't.
Oh, big shot by John Marshall.
Very big shot. I was just going to say that's not the way I'd be playing it, but it goes to show you what I know. They put Kenny Moltz out on the high post, where I think that John might be just a little more effectively, but...
Terry Brennan.
Now, we obviously can say that the pace is clearly picking up. The shooting is improved. The defense is improved. I think these guys have just forgotten about foul trouble, forgotten about too much strategy. They just went out and playing ball.
Well, I think the coaches must have taken a page out of Bobby Knight's book and let him have it during halftime. 28-20, favor the blue team on that bucket by Rick Berry underneath. Andy Legenzi, they're going to travel before. That's an interesting call. I thought for sure he's going to give him a little bit of an offensive foul there.
Well, certainly the Blue tried to draw the offensive foul. We heard the loud grunt. We saw the body hit the floor. A lot of well-staged, managed play. Might have even just been incidental contact. They were looking for it, but probably a good call. Kenny still up high. Kenny up high, John Marshall low, and as you see what they're trying to do, they're putting the big guy down on Andy's side, away from Terry Brennan. Terry, naturally, the man we talked about, the one man that is going to be able to really box out, the guy that's going to be able to put some pressure. Blue being patient now. They're going to milk that lead. They're going to try and run some time off the clock while Ed's on the bench.
Big tough rebound by Kenny Moltz, and it converts. 30-20, dark blue.
And again, Red conscious of the foul situation. Really did not go up aggressively to block that shot. Once Kenny got it inside.
Oh, nice move by Kenny, but it's blocked by John Marshall. 2:58 left in a 10-point lead. I think the red team has got to be very conscious about making a move at this point. I mean, while it seems as though they're playing a lot better, 10 points is about the break point. You simply can't let the lead build much more than that going into the fourth quarter. With an 8-minute running quarter in this league, there's simply not enough time to overcome a big deficit.
You did just see the first change. Jamie was up at the half-court line. Not a lot of pressure. That's 12 now.
Rick Berry from 16 in the corner. Red's going to take a timeout and talk this one over.
And a good timeout. Ricky Berry just hitting 3 out of 4 shots this quarter for 6 points. John Marshall with a pair of shots. Those two guys, 5 out of 6 between them. Just really a good shooting performance with Ed Barrett on the bench. I think Red took a very intelligent timeout. They've got to stop this thing right here. They've got to put a little run together of their own, maybe change their defense some. We see Ed Barrett up off the bench discussing things. We're not sure whether, I think Ed will be coming back in. We'll see how this changes things. I do think we're going to see some pressure defense from Red. I'm sure they're going to go out and try and stop the ball up front. Keep it away from the big guys underneath. They're going to try and press the guards a little bit, I would think now. And probably just shoot a little bit quicker, take the first shot. I do think Andy Legenzi may be a little fortunate early taking the ball in, scoring a couple of baskets close to the hole. But the last couple of times he's gone up against John Marshall already, he has been blocked.
Well, we're missing an official here. I think Mr. Firestein left the gym for a minute. I thought he had swallowed his whistle, but I see that he's still got it.
He might have been just checking the video replay, checking to make sure that there weren't any fouls away from the ball that he had been missing. This set of officials doing a fine job.
Oh, and they'll give that on Big Ed over their back. Gets his fourth.
Boy, I'll tell you, 10 seconds and Eddie picks up 4, and I think that's just what Red wants to do. They want to bring. Now, if they lose it, that's going to be a big blow to them.
They're going to leave him in the game, though.
And you saw the foul that forced it into that situation. Tom Wolfe coming across the lane. Blue clearly does not.
Oh my goodness! Now that I'm not sure about that call.
Yeah.
A little quick, a little bit of bump. No advantage either way, and they're calling it offense.
Tom Wolfe still only with 2 shots. He's 1 for 2. No shots in the third period at all. Clearly, and here's man-to-man, picking him up at half court. You're going to see pressure now. Donnie Mitchell evading Jamie. And we'll see.
I hope we don't see Tom Wolfe fall to foul trouble, because so often during the season he's been accused of getting away with murder underneath, offensive fouls and so on and so forth. And then I hope they don't decide to call a little too tight the other way.
That was, well, in a championship game, I think the referees do want to make sure they maintain control. This is a difficult situation for Donnie, who almost trapped. They got him in that corner out there, which is a bad place to be. Blue.
I like this defensive strategy for Red. This makes sense.
I would have liked to have seen him come out with something like this. I talked to Tom Wolfe earlier in the week. Big Ed with the hook shot. And Ed really a major factor.
34-20, 127 left in the third quarter.
No, Ed with 6, I'm sorry.
Terry Brennan, no good. Shots no good. Rebounded by Andy McGinnis. Oh, and they turn. No, Andy with a ball back. Goes up for the shot, and it drops.
With
Andy
a good goal. And Andy unafraid to take it to the hoop. Now we're going to see this man-to-man pressure. Like I said, I thought that Jamie Kessler with a great play.
Oh, and there's a little bit of luck.
Unfortunately, it's wasted, but those are the kind of plays that if Red keeps the pressure on, they are going to see the ball bouncing around loose out there.
14-point lead with 51 seconds left.
Red may be rushing their offense a little bit. They've got to play real quick on defense. They've got to really mix it up on defense, but then what they've got to do is slow down and make sure they get a good shot every time on offense. Here we go. Donnie Mitchell looking to draw the charge. Kenny doing a good job getting past him, but couldn't keep a handle on it, couldn't control the pass. Red wants a point here.
Big Ed Barrett with a rebound.
And the story of the game on that last rebound, Kenny Moltz having Tom Wolfe on his hip, holding him out. Ed Barrett with the rebound.
Kenny Moltz walk on the high pass.
Red losing valuable seconds here. Okay, here we go. 5. See what they do. Uh-oh.
Smart move. Good bucket. Right at the buzzer, Tom Wolfe.
Well, intelligent passing, getting the ball up. Let's just spend a sec before we do cut this thing off and look at it with 12-point difference. And again, third period, Tom Wolfe with 1 shot, and that's the one right at the buzzer. Red just really being unable to use their primary weapon. I mean, he's the guy that brought him here, and Blue just doing a super job defensively. On the other hand, Ed Barrett with 4 fouls. Ed shooting well, rebounding well, boxing out well, but with 4 fouls, how far can they go with him?
Well, a much better scoring quarter for both teams, but again, like you said, Tom Wolfe with only 4 points in the game is a joke at this point, but I've seen the man light it up in the fourth quarter before, where he just simply resigns himself to taking control, especially when he's not in foul trouble, so I think you'll see him come out and play with reckless abandon, if you want to call it that. But they're certainly going to need something along those lines to make it happen.
Well, that little touch foul didn't seem to discourage Tom. He's not in foul trouble, as you mentioned. I think the real telling story is not that he's got 4 points, but that he's only got 3 shots. I think if he was shooting and missing, I think they'd feel a lot better about it. At least they were running their offense the way they wanted, and you have the feeling a good shooter is sooner or later the percentages will catch up. What's discouraging for the Red team is either I really don't think Tom is passing up good shots. He's just not getting good shots, and that's defense by the Blue and the Reds' inability to get the ball to him in the right position.
Yeah, he's simply not getting the ball. Tom Wolfe, of course, averaging approximately 14 points a game in the regular season. But then on the other hand, I think, again, these specialty defenses are doing the trick, because Kenny Moltz, with only 6 points through 3 quarters, also who had been averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 points a game. So the 2 big firepowers on either team have been kept under wraps, so to speak, but they're picking up the slack a little bit in places that, it's like we said before with Kenny McTurk, they're starting to get a little bit of scoring out of the areas, other areas on the team.
Terry Brennan with a couple of hoops also in the third period. Terry's game picking up, shooting a little bit better, aggressive off the boards. Okay, here we go.
Final quarter of this 1987 basketball season.
I have the feeling Red's going to come out. They're going to show him some kind of full court or three-quarter court pressure, and they're going to go at him the whole period. I don't think they're going to back off at all. They may even start thinking to foul. So Tom just a little hesitant out there.
Got to get under the basket.
Now, for instance, in that case, they got Tom the ball, but they got it to him in the wrong position. He's just not going to be able to get a shot off from that position.
Oh, nice play by Terry Brennan. Nice play. And he draws the foul on John Marshall.
Nice feed. Terry in the right spot. Naturally, a lot of attention going to Tom Wolfe. Terry getting it inside, forcing John Marshall to come over. In the third period, the shooting percentage is definitely improved. The blue team going 8 for 12, which is 667 clip, and the red team 6 for 11, which is over 500.
Terry completed the three-point play to cut the margin to 9, so it's the first time they've been in single digits for the last couple of minutes. Oh, there'll be a block on Brennan.
Terry Brennan with the block, but and Donnie doing a good job getting it to the hole, at least making sure he got something off.
It'll be Terry's third foul.
Yeah. Blue wants to be real careful here. Certainly they don't want to take bad shots and they don't want to rush.
And there it is. Ken Adrian just letting them know who's officiating the game. And Blue calls a timeout. Kenny thoroughly disgusted with the call. Takes a timeout to argue the call a little bit, but I can tell you right now he's not going to get anywhere.
Kenny said that's all he's got to say, and Ken says that's exactly right. That's all you've got to say. He was warming up that tee. I think Red feeling that less than a minute gone in this fourth period, and Red feels good. There's some smiles over there. There's some hand clapping. They look positive. They've Terry out here with a three-point play. They feel like they're moving the ball a little bit better, and I do think that the key here is going to be whether or not Blue is aggressive enough and despite the pressure goes to the basket. If they just try and hold the ball and take time off the clock, they're going to really be in serious trouble. They don't have the kind of ball club that can hold the ball for 2 or 3 minutes at a stretch. They're going to have to look for the layup and take the layup when they get it. Red again is going to come out, and they're going to be right in their back pocket, I'm sure.
You know, as I'm scanning our capacity crowd, I noticed that this game has brought out some of the legends of the men's league. I see Michael Carter Sr., Storm and Norman McTurk, and Butch Kessler, all longtime members and legendary figures.
Some real gray beards, gray heads in more than one way, but guys that know a lot about this game. There's Jamie Kessler, drops it. And the game starts to tighten up. And
that's the lead to 7.
And every basket just puts that much more pressure on the Blue guards.
36-29, 7:05 left in the fourth quarter. Oh, a big shot by Rick Berry.
Ricky Berry with a big league play. Great move down the side, not afraid to pull up and take the jumper. Nice play.
Red's starting to move the ball around pretty effectively. Oh, and they got to get it back.
Ricky Berry with the rebound. John Heiser pulling out.
I don't know why the red team doesn't. What a block by Kenny McTurk. Beautiful block. I don't know why this red team doesn't capitalize on John Heiser at guard and put somebody out and stay in his face. Without foul trouble, I think they could harass him enough to cause some turnovers.
I certainly think so.
Oh, there's a foul. I'm not sure about that foul on Rick Berry.
Well, Ricky certainly wasn't going to give him a layup, and I think Jamie was a step behind Ricky, and as he started to pull even, Rick wanted to make sure that he didn't give him a layup, but let him get close enough for that three-point opportunity. Still
possession. Terry Brennan underneath, no, kicks it back out. Tom Wolfe with the turnaround. Oh, it's good, and that's the lead to 7.
4 Blue players surrounding Tommy on that last one, and still he was able to get it up. Kessler almost with a steal. One thing that Red seems to be doing with this high post up top, 3 times in a row they've scraped the guard off just on the dribble without a pass. They scraped them off on the high post man, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny Moltz with 2 from the free throw line.
And that long rebound hurts him.
Sure does. It's that second shot thing again.
Exactly. They can't give these guys 2 shots. Tom Wolfe much more involved in the offense right now. Still though having trouble. Look at this. He's surrounded every time he gets the ball. They're overplaying him.
Kenny McTurk,
and that's the shot he wants.
There it is.
That's the shot he wants. The guards packed all the way back down. Tom Wolfe sneaking up to the free throw line. Blue leaning a little bit towards Jamie Kessler's side, and Tom Wolfe wide open. He's just not going to miss that.
In the lead
Mitchell with a marvelous job.
see who they assess the foul to. Terry Brennan gets his, and I believe that may be Mr. Brennan's fourth.
We're not sure about that. We will check with you.
We'll confirm that.
Excuse me. That's the third on Terry.
Third, I'm sorry.
That's the third on Terry. But Donnie certainly with an impressive move, a very, very impressive move coming down the lane, evading 3 players and just arriving in the gym, Bill.
It's Huey Lewis. No, I'm sorry, Brian McNeil.
Donnie with nothing but net, nice touch, and I'll tell you this, my feelings about Donnie Mitchell as a basketball player have certainly taken a step in the positive direction. Donnie's just really having an excellent game out here. I always, don't get me wrong, I always thought Donnie was a good ball player, but he's really come to the fore here. He's providing a lot of leadership for these guys, despite the fact he's one of the younger fellas on the floor.
You know, Eddie, I'd like to take a minute to in all seriousness, say it's good to see Brian in the gym, because we all know that he had quite an accident when he was out of state in West Virginia not long ago, and we're just all really happy to see him up and around again, and I'm wishing him the best of luck. Hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate that Brian's certainly one of the key links, I guess, in the Red Team's plan. Terry with a nice touch. Free throw shooting clearly improving.
Boy,
and we have okay, still 9.
7 points. And they're going to give the foul to,
which I think is Andy.
Yes,
not
Andy
a,
Legenza.
Not a bad foul. Ed Barrett and Ken Moltz playing catch underneath the basket. Blue with a great opportunity, a 2-on-1. Johnny Heiser going down, couldn't get the pass to Ed, just really passing it off the backboard to him, I think.
Well, let's see what the Clousters got on the line. If he can stretch the lead past 7, they're going to need it. I mean, they want to keep that comfortable margin.
Well, 7 starts to get tight.
Oh, yes, and it's
Nice
no
touch.
problem.
Nice touch.
Like they say, he's a machine out there. A free throw shooting machine.
Well, both teams picking up the pace here. The shooting's improved. The pace just has improved. Quality of play has improved. The big thing now for Red is that they've got to stop Blue. Just coming down here and scoring at the other end is obviously the way they're going to get back in the game. But they just can't let Blue come down and score right back. And they're playing much better offensively, but they're just going to have to find a solution. I think a little bit better switching in their man-to-man is certainly going to help them.
And he's perfect at the line. Puts the lead back to 9 points with 5 minutes left in the quarter. Oh my goodness, and they're going to give that foul to Kenny McTurk. He doesn't like that call at all. But that's only 3. Kenny been plagued with foul trouble very often during the course of the season, and I know from experience that when he gets in early foul trouble, he has a tendency to affect his game. But through tournament play, he hasn't been plagued with foul trouble, and he's been playing a real strong tournament. I think you'll see him stay doing just that. He'll continue to play strong. Nobody's in foul trouble yet, as far as I know.
Well, Ed Barrett with 4 naturally,
yeah,
but I think
true.
Ed was born with 4. He's been plagued by foul trouble most of his life.
And he lives on the edge too, so.
He does. He's the kind of guy that thrives on that. I think when things get really tough and tight, Ed is the kind of guy. Now there's a confidence kind of shot. Jamie willing to take it.
Offensive foul. Well, there's the call that I was talking about earlier. No?
No, they didn't. They're calling on Kenny Moltz.
Okay.
Tom with that turnaround keeps the ball high. He's got, I tell you, real good form, real good fundamentals. He keeps the ball high. You're just not going to get the ball unless you reach over and bump him. And he has that lean. He leans on into you. Yeah.
Well, good call.
Jimmy Mack, our analyst, says that the tide seems to be changing. The question is how much time before high tide. Terry Brennan coming in doing a super job of keeping that one live.
Got nailed on that play.
And Kenny did.
Official timeout. I believe he took an elbow to the back of the head.
Yeah. Well, you can see the play is tough and rough in there. Terry Brennan doing a great job of keeping that ball up in the air. Kenny coming in trying to to pick off a rebound. He's down. I hope he's not hurt seriously. I don't believe so. I think what you said, Bill, an elbow to the back of the head is probably what
And he's up.
hit him. Yeah.
Well,
I think they will give a minute here. Obviously, this is not one of these situations where we can bring somebody in from the bench. Red only having 5 players, so they're not going to be forced into using a timeout in order to keep Kenny in the game. Referee's using good discretion there, making sure that the injured player wasn't harmed in any way and stopping play to give him a chance to get his senses back. Well, 8 points, Bill. This is about as close as they've been. They've been to 7 once this half, but 7, 8, 9. They need a turnover here. They need to tighten it up one more notch. Here's the pressure.
They're going to pull the plug. You take out all the stops.
Here's the pressure. There's the screen. But I think, yeah, here's what they're going to do. This good strategy. John Marshall being covered by Tom Wolfe. They're going to put John as far out as they can. That'll keep Tom Wolfe away from the basket.
Kessler with a rebound.
Kessler with a very aggressive rebound. Nice play by Jamie. And I'll tell you what.
Good shot by Jamie.
Oh, he wants
Kessler.
it. Now, I'll
Coast
tell
to
you,
coast.
that's a lot of confidence. Here's a kid having some problems early on, not afraid at all to go right to the basket, dribble past 2 men, use great individual effort. A great defensive play on Kenny Moltz. Jamie screening Kenny away from the basket, making that shot really difficult.
Oh, and no, they give the foul to. Wait a minute, there's 2 reds, but I believe that call was on Andy LeGenzi.
Well, I'm not sure now, but
League cut to 6.
But you know, it is possible. I would hate to see a game like this decided, but clearly the rules state that having 2 players with the same number is a technical foul. Now, I doubt the officials.
We waived that.
I doubt the
rule for this
officials will bring that
championship
into play here. However, it certainly can be disconcerting. Donnie Mitchell with a terrible effort.
And it's a block. He was not established.
A tough call.
Ends up being a wise decision by the red. A good foul on the red teams because Donnie Mitchell, whose free throw percentage was about, I think, maybe 30 or 40% during the year. So if you're going to put somebody on the line, he's certainly the one. Now Red's going to have a chance to come down the floor and cut the lead to 4 with 3:45 left. Plenty of time.
That's right. Did you notice how that lead is just gradually disappearing? Now, you know, you mentioned Donnie with the poor free throw shooting percentage. The set before, he dropped 2 through, didn't touch the rim at all, just all net. Looked so good, and that last effort was weak and off to the side. He's going to need a little concentration out there. John Heiser doing really trying to draw this charge down here.
And I'm not exactly sure why either.
Well, giving up the body, I tell you what, I'm sure John felt with the bad knee that if he tried to play Kessler straight, Kessler was going to wind up with a layup. He just wasn't going to stop Jamie going to the basket. And Jamie now really taking control. You see the big players for Red coming to the fore. Tom Wolfe 2 for 2 this quarter, still not shooting often enough, but Jamie with 4 shots hitting 50% this 4th quarter. So both Jamie and Tom becoming more active, more aggressive, more involved in the offense, which is what Red really needs.
Tom Wolfe is exerting himself on the boards, up 9 rebounds in this game so far.
And that's a big, big factor because Tom is the guy they go to.
But again, a couple of things on the blue squad. Again, they're keeping Kenny Moltz under wraps, and they have also cooled off the red-hot Ed Barrett.
Yeah, Ed Barrett with only 1 shot this quarter. And,
big rebound, Tom Wolfe.
Not kidding.
Whoops.
Doesn't get the roll. And that's an unfortunate set of circumstances.
So Rick Berry re-enters the game for John Heiser.
Now here's,
oh my goodness, and they missed the call there. That ball was out of bounds.
That's right in front of us, but that's a tough call. That is a tough call with the camera and the crowd real close to the court here. Good defensive strategy.
And they just got him boxed under low. He's going to 3 seconds on blue.
And almost a travel call on Tom Wolfe, who went to his knees. But you see the intensity really picking up here. Here's still another chance to cut it to 4.
No, they just blanket Kenny Moltz down low. They're not going to let him get the ball off. That's all there is to it.
What Blue is attempting to do.
Recovery. No. Bad call.
Oh, that
bad
was.
Call. Did not answer this.
That's going to be a controversial one. Saying that Tom Wolfe did go down to the floor and then come up naturally, which is a travel. Here's the trapping type defense. There's another steal. I'll tell you, they've just turned.
Nice pass by Kenny McHurt.
Really a super play, and this is exactly what this is the game that Red wants to play.
No question about it.
This is what they want to do. They've got people spread out all over the court. They think that they've just got the quicker athletes. Ed Barrett
lead is 4.
Misses, no call, and here they come again.
Well, Kenny Moltz wanted to foul, but Big Ed fouled him, so I don't know if he wants that 5th foul on Big Ed.
And
so they cut the lead to 4. 2:26 left, and I think that Red has come out and done exactly what we had mentioned earlier. They are playing all-out man-to-man defense, and with the fact that they can pressure the guards once the ball gets down low, they're back in position because the blue team has a tendency to go down, set up low, and they've effectively just destroyed their offensive momentum.
What's really changed in the first time at 2 down, Blue was using John Marshall as a very, very high post, and he was their outlet man, which sucked Tom Wolfe away from the basket and opened things up underneath. But what Red's doing so effectively now, Tom Wolfe is pretty much ignoring John Marshall, and they're using him as the trapping man. John Marshall trying to be the outlet man to relieve the pressure on the guards is not getting himself in the offensive scheme of things because he is trying to be the outlet man, and Tom Wolfe very intelligently using that to come over, and Tom with the wingspan that he's got, creating a lot of problems. That last interception was really due to the pressure, I think, that Tom Wolfe was putting up front here.
We're getting back to the same script that's been played out so many times before. Tom Wolfe is just coming up and dominating the game in the 4th quarter. He's already got, he's 3 for 4 in the 4th quarter, which is more point production than he had the entire rest of the game, and has also grabbed his 10th rebound.
And offensively, defensively, he really has. Also, as John Novak, one of our stat men here, has mentioned, 4 turnovers just in the last couple of minutes since Red has gone to that pressure.
Oh, and they gave Kenny Moltz a technical foul for his last outburst. Jamie, I'm afraid, did not convert, but it'll be red ball.
2:26. That's right. And right here, we're talking 1 possession away. Using Terry Brennan to screen over on that side to free Jamie up.
Big shot by Terry.
Very big shot. Because I tell you, if Terry doesn't hit that one, Tom Wolfe is down there screening for him. They've got no chance at the offensive rebound. Terry drops it right through. No steal.
Oh, and they're going to call that.
Well,
Jamie Kessler with a bump. So
there was contact, and I guess when you get this close, you just hate to let anything slide. But now again, Donnie Mitchell with a poor attempt his last time out. This may be the guy they want to foul.
Well, that's true. Very often the strategy too is to play extremely aggressive defense, not concerning yourself. If you do pick up a foul, especially against their worst free throw shooter, paid off perfectly. Oh, steal by Kenny Moltz
with a super alert play.
Oh, and he
great
converts
effort.
it.
I tell you, he started moving about 3 seconds before that pass was thrown. He read it all the way. Just a really smart effort.
Oh, no.
And now Donnie with a steal. That was before, and that was a very good foul by Jamie. Now, it's a good foul by Jamie. Couldn't give up that layup. That might have put too much daylight between them.
He knew as soon as he threw that pass up here in the 4th quarter that it was a mistake. I think Terry was a little quick to just tap it back in.
Red so close, coming down with a chance to tie, and now all of a sudden it's 4 points and back to 4. Blue is at the free throw line. And Red just got a little bit hasty, I think, made a couple of poor decisions on some passes. I tell you, these guys are too intense here to make any kind of mistake. You just can't give an inch.
Plenty of time left, though, and all they're going to have to do is shift the fouling burden off of Kessler and put this team on the line. I think that's the way they need to do it to keep the ball back in their hands.
Well, I tell you too, Bill, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the shooting percentage from the field in the 4th period, Tom Wolfe 3 for 4, Terry Brennan 2 for 3, Jamie Kessler 2 for 4. Those are the guys that they want to shoot. Those are the guys that are shooting. They're all shooting over 50%. That's just what they want to do. Blue, on the other hand, having some problems. Kenny making 2 out of 4, but Edward 0 for 2, John Heiser 0 for 2, and Ricky Berry just 1 for 2. So Red is really getting the ball into the hands of the guys they want to, and those people are converting. Like we said earlier, things are evening up.
Well, they've got to stay on with it, though. They can't let up now. It's an all-or-nothing effort if they're going to be concerned about. Obviously they don't want to end up with 4 on the floor, but they've got to switch as I said before, the responsibility of handcuffing somebody to somebody else on the team, because I honestly think if they don't put Blue on the line, then they're just not going to have a chance. Let's see if Mitchell can convert. Boy, oh my goodness, gets a lucky bounce there.
It's not the way they show it in the highlight films usually, but it still counts for one.
Okay, sure. Leads 5 with 1:30 left.
Off the front of the rim, and
Here we
here's
go.
Jamie Quick. That's
Pull-up jumper.
Red keeping it alive.
No question about it.
Well, I'll tell you what I didn't like about that last series. The last two players down the floor were Andy McGinnis and Tom Wolfe. The first shot was taken before.
Well, they're just having trouble keeping a handle.
Absolute. Tom Wolfe very, very intelligently slows down and says, look, let's make sure we get a good shot.
Terry Brennan,
yes.
good shot.
Terry with a big shot, turn around in the lane.
Oh, and they got Donnie Mitchell with a walk.
There's that harassment. You saw Tom Wolfe trapping to the inside. You saw Jamie coming up here. There's that defense, back to 3.
Red with a lead to cut it to 1.
Jamie had an idea. Terry coming up. There's the
They
kick.
get a kick.
Yeah, well, Rick Berry with good aggressive defense also. Ricky's not going to give him an easy pass.
Just under a minute.
This is what they
Tom
want.
Wolfe has
There's
got
Tommy.
to shoot the ball.
He does.
No.
Short off the front.
Oh, and I tell you, that's what you got to trap him back there. There's no reason not to. The call is foul on
Goes
Tom
against
Wolfe.
Tom Wolfe, and again, it's a close one. Naturally, the official had an angle in there. He's right on top of the play, and certainly with a change of possession like that, you'd want to call something. Very crucial play, and it looks like a
Timeout red.
Yep.
I really don't know why. When they had Mitchell corralled back here way deep in the floor, and they had everybody but Jamie Kessler around him, they should have fouled him, put him back on the line. Kessler will only go in, I guess it's got to be like 1 for 6 so far from the line or something in that neighborhood. 2 for 6. The percentages are to get the ball back to get him up on that free throw line.
One explanation on that huddle.
We don't, thank you.
Inadvertently charged a timeout to
Okay.
What?
technical foul.
Oh, okay.
Tommy thought I had something.
We just struck it up to a bad call. That's all.
Ken Adrian coming over to take the time. No, that's an excellent job by the officials coming over to make sure that there's no question about where the decision came from. Both teams tied at this point. Both teams reaching down for that last ounce of competitive spirit. Look at this, the red team putting a hand in, saying, let's go guys, 3 points down, 56 seconds to play. Ricky Berry with a chance 2 here really is going to make it awful, awful tough. That's going to be 3 possessions without a foul.
A lot of pressure, though. A lot of pressure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. These things become so important. I think maybe that's one of the reasons why Red called that timeout, to make him think about it a little bit.
Good call. Big
Yes,
rebound, Tom
big
Wolfe.
rebound is right. Tom Wolfe with the
You
rebound.
better hurry up, boys. You can't afford
Well,
to just...
I think what Tom is saying is that when...
Oh, big rebound by Ed Barrett. My goodness
Absolutely,
gracious.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Now there's where you want it, right there.
That's
I don't
right.
know why they're waiting. And they got the wrong guy out fouling him.
Well, Ricky just missed the last one, so they're going to take a chance. I
But
also
mean,
think,
Tom
though,
Wolfe committing the foul.
Oh,
That's got to
yes.
be 4 on him. Why they don't... Well, anyway, we're
Well,
second guessing.
I think that they were looking for the foul, but you can't make it too obvious, and they did get Blue to throw a couple of cross-court passes. Obviously, there's always a chance of a steal. These guys aren't going to miss forever, that's for sure. But,
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Tom Wolfe sitting down? That can only mean one thing. That was number 5.
and if that was,
And Red calls a timeout.
then I think we're, well, you never do know what, I want to make sure it is. Yes, that was 5 on Tom Wolfe, and wow, boy, I tell you, when you said it was a bad foul with 4, it probably was.
Yeah,
It was a bad one with 4, but it was an unbelievably bad one with 5.
Well,
there's
that's-
just no way that you can.
Tom Wolfe's got to be aware of that, though. I was surprised to see him come out. That's why I said
I would
again.
sure think so. I would sure
We're
think.
second guessing a little bit, but you
Yeah.
simply have to take the men that are not in foul trouble and assign them to the task of getting that guy back on
One
the
down,
line.
that's right, and getting somebody quick. And then maybe, I tell you, the problem is that Red had 2 or 3 opportunities to foul on the other side of the court and didn't, and it got to the point where they really had to get a hold of somebody quick. 10, maybe 12 seconds went off the clock there. and Tommy was the nearest man, and he went for him. Couldn't let him run the whole time down, but still, they did have opportunities to foul on the other side of the court and didn't get it done. So Blue in a dominating kind of position right here, winning by 3. Ricky Berry at the line, and most importantly, Tommy Wolfe pulling his jacket on, and that's got to be a sad end to the season for Tom Wolfe.
You know, it so often is the case in this league. I think a lot of people fail to realize that it's not the NBA, and you don't have people walking around that can shoot 50%, 60% from the floor, and 30 seconds is not a lot of time. If you're down by 3, you have got to get the ball back in your hands. Oh, big loss, and they'll get Ed Barrett over the back. That'll be his 5th.
This team, they've ended up with 4 guys in the floor.
Jim McGinnis just telling us that this is the 5th game that Red has ended up with only 4 people on the floor. But Big Ed fouling out of the game, that'll bring John Heiser back in, and Red on the line, Andy McGinnis a chance to cut it to 1. I don't write the Red team out by any stretch of the imagination, because I think with only a 3 or possibly ending up being a 1-point lead, well, let's see if he converts. Oh, when they get the lucky roll, a 1-point lead, it becomes strictly offensive, and they've got the offensive tools left on the board to get that 1 or 2 buckets that they're going to need.
That's for sure. Yeah,
Andy McGinnis, the shooters roll up on that rim.
Now, obviously, there's somebody free out there. I don't think they're gonna have to foul somebody. There's no question about it. And there's the guy. They tried, and they got him. And I think it's going to be just a 1-on-1. Yep.
Going for the ball.
No, John, one of the better free throw shooters on the floor right now.
I believe he shot about 50% for the year. But by men's league standards, not too shoddy.
No, that's not too shabby at all. Again, a pressure type situation.
22 seconds left, 1-point lead. John Marshall a chance to extend their lead. Oh, and he does.
Makes the first.
There's been some talk, Eddie, about possibility of a 3-point line in the Berwyn Heights Convocation Athletic Center, and I don't know, maybe that would change the complexion of some of these tight games. Going to it in the high schools possibly next year?
It would.
John Marshall.
Ice. And that was a big one, because I tell you, as long as Kessler's on the floor, there's clearly the possibility that they don't get the roll. Marshall with the rebound.
And there it is. Oh, my goodness, and he missed. Still another chance. Jamie Kessler. It's good. Timeout, Red.
Okay, well, I tell you, if there was a 3-point line, that one might have been close. Red missing opportunity after opportunity after opportunity underneath, only to see the ball get kicked out and Jamie drill one. Unfortunately, 6 or 8 seconds ran off during that episode, and now they're confronted with only 6 seconds. It looks like it's going to have to be...
A lot of time, though.
Well, it's going to have to be a foul right away.
Oh, no question about it. 1 point left. They're just going to have to put somebody on the line on the inbounds pass. And if they're smart, Red will come out and forewarn the officials that that's exactly what they want to do. They don't want to spare a split second. I've seen games go where they intend to foul, and the officials let a couple of seconds sneak away because they're simply not on, they're not geared to that. So.
And also, here's where having our best timekeepers and scorekeepers on the clock is so important. Obviously, we have all the championship level personnel here. Chris Colson over on the clock. These guys know the rules. They'll make sure that this is done according to Hoyle. Interesting here whether they'll play anybody. It doesn't look like they're going to play anybody in front of John Marshall. Everybody else is going to play man. And,
very smart move.
I'm wondering if...
There it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And they're going to call it a 1-on-1.
Yeah. Jamie clearly going after the ball. I'll tell you, though, Donnie, I think the ball bouncing off his foot. If Jamie's there a second later, the Blue might have just lost possession under their own basket, and that would have been a major one. That's because it's worth 3 seconds getting the ball down the floor.
Well, what a situation we got here. 5 seconds left. Donnie Mitchell, not been the best night at all on the free throw line. A lot of pressure. Let's see what happens.
The first one is almost as good as 2 of them, because if this thing does go into overtime, Red having to play a whole overtime with only 4 players would really be in serious trouble.
I agree with you.
So that one really was a crucial one for them. Now Red can't win.
Oh, and soft touch.
And now...
And that's going to end the game.
And that last shot maybe just being the unfortunate story of Red's performance today, getting the good shot, getting it off, and just seeing the ball roll around the outside of the rim and just not dropping through. Great game by both clubs, Phil.
No question about it. The final score, dark blue, 51, and the Wolfpack 48. We're going to be right back with a post-game show, so stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the 1987 Men's League Basketball champions in the under 30 division, the dark blue team. Did you ever have a team name, by the way?
Dark Blue Sky.
Dark Blue Sky Colts by Kenny Moltz. A round of applause. Now to present the championship trophies and our MVP awards, basketball commissioner Jim McGinnis. Come on over here, Mac.
Congratulations, you guys had a great season. Second half. And to Kenny Moltz.
Thank you, Jim. Good job. Thank you.
Voted by judges on the sideline, tournament MVP is Kenny Moltz, and game MVP for the championship is Big Ed Barrett.
Congratulations, you guys. First, I'd like to get a couple of words with the guys on the team, words of wisdom, and maybe they can enlighten us as to how they did this. Bear, what do you got to say?
Well, when we started the season at 1-8, we thought the only way to win this thing was to play something before we played the game. So we had what we called our parking lot crew, which worked very well. Beer only.
Okay. Donnie played a great tournament, and I tell you, everybody was, I know as we watched on the sidelines, always commenting how well you moved the ball up and down the floor and gave them all that quickness. What do you got to say for yourself? Big victory.
Just happy we won.
Man, a few words, a lot of action. Kenny, what can we say? You predicted it all along, and nobody believed you, and we laughed all season, but here you are, champion. I guess you get the last laugh after all.
Some of it's true. I never predicted that we'd win, but you also laughed at me too. But I said at the beginning of the year, I said this is probably at least a 500 ball club, and at the end of the year we'll be there. That's all I said.
No question about it.
I didn't predict that we were loaded this year.
Johnny, I tell you, you played a great tournament, especially the game we all commented on. It was 2 games ago when you came out and just basically took control of that one. It was good to see you back again after being gone of a couple of years and playing again, and I think it's neat to come back and win the championship. And how do you feel?
Good that we won.
This is becoming a repetitive question. I guess everybody feels that good that they won. Tournament game MVP, Big Ed Barrett. What do you got to say?
Well, I'm real pleased that our team did win. I did strike a blow for middle-aged America, and I asked the rest of the teams, how does it feel to get beat by a fat old man?
There's your #1 fan coming to see you.
That's true. Anyway, it feels good to win.
Yeah, it certainly does. And last of all, John Marshall, I might mention, is our rec director for the Athletic and Convocation Center. We're glad to have him in the league because it makes things go so smoothly. John, good tournament, and this blue team, something else. What do you say?
I think we just worked great all year, and I think our secret was we created a new position, point center.
Something you've always dreamed about, isn't that the truth?
The older I get, the more I want to get outside of the paint.
It's not new. I had Jim Weisberg playing that position at the 12-year.
I stand corrected, B.
Okay. Well, once again, you guys, congratulations. It was really a well-fought last half of the season, as I said, and you guys really were unbeatable coming down the stretch, obviously. So we look forward to seeing all of you at the awards banquet, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you, B.
Stick around. We're going to get a couple of interviews. Kenny, and Ed, come on over here for a second. You guys want to take just a second to get into the analysis of the game a little bit. Come on, you stay up, Mac. And talk to you a little bit about really what was going on. Kenny, you know, as we've been broadcasting these games and watching you guys play and talking to you after the games and everything, we kept commenting on the fact that you guys seemed to just hustle so much and move the ball around, and time again it was your ability to convert second shots off, you know, your missed first shots that kept you guys constantly in the game producing points. And I think you probably did that better than any other team coming down the wire.
Okay. What I have to say is, you know, we have the biggest team in the league, big front line, and we stress that you have to go in there and hit them boards. And we probably had as many offensive rebounds as we had as defensive rebounds. Pretty close to it anyway. But this game was a hard game. I mean, we tried to slow it down, and we didn't score a lot of points, but we stayed ahead, and we held on to the lead, and we just played our style of ball, and it worked. So Ed really had a good game. Ed made a lot of, right at the end of the game, he made a real key rebound, and it was very important that, and he had a lot of rebounds. A couple sky hooks today too.
Yeah, no question. You know, we were talking during the broadcast coming down the wire. Jimmy was pointing out to me the fact that you guys weren't the best free throw shooting team in the league, and the fact that they were going to obviously start to attack you and try and put you on the line. And Donnie Mitchell having missed a few of the shots coming down the stretch, and they actually got the lead within one. Were you guys? Did you have any specific strategy you were going to employ to keep out of trouble in that respect?
We just tried to get the ball up court. We ended up dribbling the ball too much. But I said I'd rather have a guy dribbling it than throwing the pass and turning it over. Our strategy was to pass it up the court, and it just didn't turn out like that. He ended up dribbling. They ended up fouling us. And we missed a lot of foul shots there in the middle. But at the end of the game, when they counted them down, he made 2 shots, and that's what iced the game. But we did miss a lot in the middle there.
Yeah. Eddie, I know that this had to be a fun game for you, and I commented before that you seemed to have more fun than anybody out there playing through the last couple of games. I know Eddie wants to talk to you a little bit about what you were doing out there today.
Well, a couple of things, Ed. We talked early in the game, or before the game, I guess. You mentioned the skyhook was going to make its reappearance, and you did drop a couple of big ones through. Early in the game, when they started, they played a boxing one. Terry Brennan played Kenny. We noticed you go down to the side that Andy McGinnis was on and post up down there. And was that something that you guys had talked about before the game, if they did use some type of unusual defense?
Well, as you know, for the last 11 years playing up here, this is my second time around doing this. I just went back to the basic game that I've always played: power move right, power move left, and go at what my strength is. Sure. Obviously, these guys are quicker, faster, smarter, and better looking than I am. And I just had to go back to my basic power move game. And it's no discussion. You've been doing it for so many years, so you just keep on doing the thing that right and works.
Well, your team, looked for you consistently. They didn't get out of sync when Red denied Kenny the ball early. They came back to you consistently, and through the first quarter, at least, or the first half, if I'm not mistaken, not only were you the high scorer, but you're also the man that took the most shots for Blue, which seemed to fit right in, though. I mean, when they were giving you that move, you were taking it and doing a great job with it.
Well, they had a smaller individual that was playing on me. I guess the other team figured that I was the weak part, being slow and old and stuff. And so they put one of their smaller men on me, and we used that advantage. See, we're a smart team, actually, as a team. And what I'd say about this team is they definitely played together, and they had heart. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were always outran, outshot, out this and out that, but our team always played together as a team, and we played with heart. And I think that wins ball games.
Well, very importantly is that your team was unselfish enough to when you found something that worked, when they saw that you go in there and score and use that power move, they came back to you again and again and again. And that's the mark of an unselfish team, that the guys weren't worried about how many shots they took or who took them. They were really interested in putting points on the board. At the other end of the floor, Kenny, you guys started out really packing it in. I think in the first half, Tom Wolfe only took 3 shots, and certainly Ed was one of the big factors in keeping Tom away from the basket. Had you guys talked about that? I mean, here's the big gun on their team, only 1 for 3 in the first half. It's something that you guys must have really worked on.
Our strategy was we were going to play our basic 2-1-2 zone, but we were going to move Ed a whole step up further towards the foul line, because we've been studying the films all week. We had an excellent scouting staff this year, and they are going to get a raise for next year, too. But anyway, we studied the films all week, and we found out that Tom likes to post up right inside the foul line here on one side. So we said that we'd move Ed up a whole step and make his presence known around Tom Wolfe. And the scouting report on him is when he gets bumped a little, he kind of shies away and he'll pass the ball off. And he's hard to stop once he gets going.
Yeah, he sure is. But again, being an unselfish player, Tommy would kick it out. And he did often, and that was one of the big things, is that when he did get the ball, he never really got it in one of his favorite positions where he really had a shot or where he felt comfortable. And it wasn't until later on in the game that he was able to get the ball in those positions. When they went to the man-to-man pressure, had you guys worked on it? I mean, you mentioned earlier that you were going to try and pass the ball. I know you tried. John Marshall was being covered by Tom Wolfe, and John seemed to be the outlet man. Were you looking for him to keep Tom away from the basket?
No, We really weren't. We just concentrate on trying to get the ball up the court and and getting a good shot. We weren't really looking for John Marshall. John Marshall always ends up posting high, and we start our offense there. And if John gets a cut to the basket, we'll get him the ball because we're not a selfish team. But we don't really come down and look for John Marshall to take a shot from the high post. But that's where our offense always starts, at the high post.
Sure. Bill?
Well, you guys, once again, it really was a Cinderella story. You came from second to last place in the league and just stormed through the tournament. You played real well. You deserve to win. I congratulate you.
Thank you, Big.
Okay, Biggie. Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
We're going to get just a minute with Tom Wolfe, and then we're going to wrap up the broadcast real quick. Tom, just a word with you. Just you guys played so super all year and came and just really had a great tournament. I don't want to belabor the point. Obviously, you lost, but you played a great game coming down the wire. I think without that slow first half you guys got off to, I think I think that was the problem, really, that after the first 3 buckets went in and you couldn't throw it in the ocean. But I think all in all it was a pretty good game. It was just another question of having only 5 can really hurt you at time because of the foul trouble.
Sure. Well, our game plan had been to press them the whole game. And then we found out 2 days ago that Brian had broken his nose, so we lost our point guard. But so we dropped away from that game plan. It turned out in the second half that worked for us. So my feeling was if we had been down by 8 going into the fourth quarter, we could have pulled it out. Mm-hmm. But we were down by 12, and then it turns out that we were, 3 points shy at the end. But you can't take anything away from that blue team.
Oh, no,
I
not
mean,
at all.
It's just,
not at all.
It's incredible. I mean, they played a good, they forced us into errors the whole game in that tight zone that they play. I took 2 shots the first half. That's pretty incredible.
We mentioned earlier that the great job they did defensively, and they worked hard. They were unselfish. But once you guys did go to the man-to-man pressure, you closed that 12 points down to 3, I think, on several occasions. And again, the fella that you were missing, Brian, one of the quicker guys on the team, certainly a good defensive ball player. That really did have to hurt you, which it really is unfortunate that Brian couldn't be here. But you guys sure got nothing to be, ashamed of. It's just really a shame that it took you a little while to get on track. Was everybody a little nervous in the beginning, or was everybody just playing conservatively because of the foul trouble? Because neither team really had a strong first half. I mean, the score was like 22-11 at the end of the half, which is really uncharacteristic for these teams. It looked like both teams were just a little hesitant and a little unwilling to go up and try for the block or take the break when you had it. I think.
I think definitely, Eddie. I think that they controlled the pace of the game early to slow it down, which is their game. Mm-hmm. And then when we did get the break, it was so push that we made a lot of turnovers that first half, and we didn't get the shots on the break either.
Did you talk to Jamie at halftime? Because he came out the second half, he looked like a different ball player. He had some shooting problems in the first half, but he certainly didn't lose any confidence. He came out, and I think one of the things that really opened up the game for you guys all around was once Jamie started hitting some from the outside, they had to respect him a lot more, and that opened up your game a little bit, because I know you were facing Ricky Berry or John Heiser or one of the guards with a hand in your face all night long.
Yeah, I think the difference, Eddie, in the first half was shooting percentage. I like to look at the stats. But
you were about 18, I think.
18% for us.
Both teams shot poorly in the first half. It was like 18% to 30%.
Yeah. But I knew that our shooting percentage had to be way down there. Sure. And to answer your question about halftime, all we needed to do at halftime was settle down and play our game, which was to run and pick up the pace of the game a little bit and force them to move the ball out front a little more. And we felt like we really did that in the second half.
Yeah, 2 things. One is that I think your quickness really helps forcing their ball handlers into errors, but also when you spread the game out up the whole court, a lot of their size just tends to disappear because you get big guys standing out at half court where they're not effective. I mean, their game was to slow it down and get it down on the baseline, and as soon as you guys could spread it out, Kenny or John or Ed out at half court really are not at all going to be the factor. They are 5 or 6 feet away from the basket.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, nonetheless, it was a good season, and you guys played a good game. And next year, I know that you'll be back and change your draft strategy a little bit to make sure you put 6 on the floor every game.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Sure.
Thanks again.
Tom,
Mac?
Congratulations.
Thanks for calling the game.
Well, that wraps up our 1987 Men's League Basketball Championship, and I just wanted to ask Commissioner Jim McGinnis, can we look forward to any changes next year? What do you think what's going to happen next year? There's been some talk about a 3-point line and some other things. What's in store, Mac?
3-point line, sure, that's going to fire everybody up. Why don't we make a 4-point line, just like a bullseye, keep going out, and just 5. If you shoot it from half court, you get 10 points. That could be a game winner. Now, I don't know any big. It was a big improvement over last year. There wasn't much squawking about the refereeing, which was good. The tough thing, and which I'll mention at the awards bank, was just getting guys to participate. You know, it's a great league. Everybody has a good time, but you just got to realize that, you know, unless these people are participating and just doing their small part, it's not going to work. You know, 5 people can't handle it. So I was real pleased with everybody. I didn't have too much of a problem this year with getting guys to officiate or getting guys to keep score. But I'd just like to see a little bit more where they'd come up and say, hey, you know, no problem, I'll do it. That's all. You know, it improved a lot. I think, you know, both of you realize that over 30 is improving a lot.
Quality of play is way up.
Exactly.
Let me ask you one question, Jim. B mentioning last year. This seems that this year and the next year seem to be a couple of watershed years. A lot of the big name players in the under 30 league are now eligible to go over 30. There's talk of guys coming up as a franchise and groups, or people coming up here as free agents, whatever. And a number of the over 30 players are concerned about the possibility that the entire league, the perspective of the league, may change. What do you see in the future? Do you think that these guys are going to come up en masse, or do you think it's going to be one at a time?
No, I don't see a big shift over 30. You know, maybe Tommy Love might go over 30, or you know, B's still playing under and doing well. I don't think you see a big shift unless there's any major injuries. You just go on up. You know, I'm only kidding, but I think you're not going to see a big shift. You know, there's a lot of guys in here that play enough basketball where they can play to 35 years old and 30 with no problem. It's just a matter of going up and win.
So George Brooks, if you're listening, you don't have too much to worry about. You can come on back out, and us old guys will still be out there. Thanks, Jimmy.
Well, thanks for everybody for watching us, and keep in mind the men's league is an open rec league for people that live in town or belong to the boys club. So if you're interested about joining the men's league, you can go down to the town office and get the information to do so. Once again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year.